Welcome. It's your man God Dots back again with more NFL content. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the content as we keep bringing you more and more of the content that you love. And that is the NFL Football League. As we begin a new season, OTAs have started, training camps are soon to start, and each team comes in with hopes high, aspirations set for the sky, and looking forward to reaching the Super Bowl and holding the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Some teams have realistic aspirations, while other teams are just hopeful that things break their way. As we kind of break down the NFL season before it kind of kicks off, there are several questions that need to be answered. And I will highlight each and every team that I have questions about and who I believe, if everything goes well, could be the team holding that Vince Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season. And as always, remember to like, share, and comment for more content. In this video, I want to highlight specific teams who I think have an outside chance of making it to the Super Bowl. You may agree with some of them, may scratch your head on a few others, but I think when it's all said and done, one of these teams will be competing for a chance to hold that Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season and call themselves Super Bowl champions. We're going to start our list off with America's team, the one and only Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, who had a playoff run in a very unceremoniously way, losing to the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs, coming to the new season optimistic, but with a change in the air. Can they repeat and make it back to the playoffs and possibly make a Super Bowl run? The defense, led by Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, added Stephon Gilmore to the mix to make it an even more formidable defense. But the offensive side is where you're going to have questions. Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, has moved on to greener pastures. And Ezekiel Elliott, long-time starting running back, released in the summer. There's also questions about Tony Pollard. Is he healthy? Will he be ready to go for the upcoming season? You also have the addition of Brandon Cooks on offense. And with Mike McCarthy calling the plays, can you really trust the Dallas Cowboys to go further than they have gone since the year of 1995? Can you really trust the Dallas Cowboys to end off the season as Super Bowl champions? That is the question of the day. With the division being as strong as it has ever been, with the New York Giants on the rise, Philadelphia Eagles defending NFC champions, and the Washington Redskins, who look to have gotten better in the offseason, can the Dallas Cowboys overcome all challenges, bring Jerry Jones that trophy, and once again call themselves Super Bowl champions? And as we leave the NFC East, it is time to go to the AFC East for another possible contender. The New York Jets, who brought in a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, from the Green Bay Packers in a draft day deal, look to make the leap up the ladder in the AFC and possibly challenge for a Super Bowl this upcoming season. Quarterback was a question mark for them last year, as Zach Wilson did not get the job done, and the New York Jets reached out and searched for a quarterback that could possibly lead them to a championship. The defensive side of the ball, led by Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, gives him an elite defense in which to work with a much better defense than he had when he was in Green Bay. The questions that come across when you think about the New York Jets for the upcoming season: one, can the offensive line improvements really hold up and give Aaron Rodgers the protection he will need to find the targets that he has at his disposal? And two, will Father Time finally catch up to Aaron Rodgers and slow him down and derail the New York Jets' potential Super Bowl run? And as much emphasis we put on Aaron Rodgers leading this offense, you also have to look at Breece Hall, who is coming off an injury, ready to step up to be running back one in New York. I'm not sure. The sample size that I saw from Breece Hall was nice, but is it Super Bowl championship winning nice? The jury is still out. The jury is still out on the offensive line. Will they be able to hold up with 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers back at quarterback? Will Mekhi Becton and Dwayne Brown be able to hold up to the much improved defenses in Miami and Buffalo and New England? Can they hold up for an entire season and have the Jets back in the playoff as a serious contender for the first time in a long time? Time will tell. And as we leave New York, we only have to go up the road just a little bit to find another Super Bowl contender. Buffalo Bills, who come off winning the AFC East as champions, come into this upcoming season as one of the preseason favorites to bring home that Lombardi trophy. Led by potential MVP quarterback Josh Allen, Pro Bowler Stephon Diggs on the outside, and the defense will have the returning Von Miller back from injury. Buffalo looks to right the wrongs of their recent playoff defeat and overcome those challenges and bring home a Super Bowl. Question that you have to have going into this season: will this defense, which gets a little bit older, did not add any young pieces with the loss of Tremaine Edmonds, superstar linebacker, going to the Chicago Bears, will this defense be able to maintain the high level of play? Will Von Miller return back to form after coming off an ACL injury? These are questions that you have to ask. And not only that, is Josh Allen ready to take that next step and overcome quarterback one in everybody's mind and heart, Patrick Mahomes? Is Buffalo poised to go deeper into the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, and bring a championship to Buffalo for the first time in their team's history? Time will tell. Oddsmaker have them going in as the preseason favorite. Will they end off the season in that same position? And as we leave Buffalo, we travel just a bit more down the road and look at another heavy favorite to possibly bring home the Lombardi trophy, the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, led by superstar quarterback Jalen Hurts, look to repeat as conference champions and overcome all challenges set forth for them to bring home a Super Bowl trophy. Questions you have to have going into this upcoming season: will the pressure to repeat and perform at the level that they did finally catch up to the Philadelphia Eagles? Will Jalen Hurts' level of play continue to rise, or has he plateaued as a quarterback? Jalen Hurts, who recently got a large contract extension, will he be motivated to go out there and continue to play at a high level? Another thing you have to look at with the Philadelphia Eagles: the young pieces that they have on the defensive side of the ball. Who is ready to step up and be a big game day contributor for the Philadelphia Eagles defense? Philadelphia lost Jason Hargrove in the middle of that defense. Will Jordan Davis be able to step up? Will some of the recent draft picks by GM Howard Roseman pan out and give Philadelphia an opportunity to not only repeat as NFC East champions in a much improved division, but also retain their spot at the top of the NFC East as the big bad bully on the block? Speaking of big bad bullies on the block, we look to another team that is trying push their way to a Super Bowl title. The upstart Detroit Lions. Detroit comes in as a bit of a dark horse, but a very serious dark horse for a possible Super Bowl run. The question you have to ask yourself, is Detroit ready to take that next step? With the departure of Aaron Rodgers, the unreliability of Kirk Cousins, Detroit is in prime position to not only walk away as division champion, but also push for a possible Super Bowl run. With the much improved defense, with the draft picks that they brought, such as Aiden Hutchinson and Devon Witherspoon over the last couple of seasons, Detroit is in prime position to push and challenge, not only for the division, like I said, also for a Super Bowl. The question you have to ask yourself is at quarterback. Is Jared Goff your man? Is Jared Goff ready to step up and not just be an average quarterback, but be a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I think Detroit has the formula in place. It all depends on if Dan Campbell is able to mix it all together and win some games with that sauce. The Cincinnati Bengals come into this season as possibly the most serious challenger to the Kansas City Chiefs, repeating as Super Bowl champions. Joe Burrow, along with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, look to challenge the Kansas City Chiefs once again in the playoffs and possibly get over the hump this season, reach yet another Super Bowl, and possibly win. Questions you have to ask yourself for this upcoming season is the contract situation involving Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and possibly the biggest elephant in the room, the extension for quarterback Joe Burrow. Another question you have to ask yourself when you're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, a much improved defense, but who lost key players on that side of the ball? Will they be able to rise to the challenge and compete with the much improved teams within their division, such as the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers? Will they have enough defense to overcome the magic of Patrick Mahomes, the elusiveness of a Lamar Jackson, and the explosiveness of a Josh Allen? Will Joe Burrow stay healthy long enough to see a championship brought to Cincinnati? Only time will tell. And as we look forward to the Cincinnati Bengals challenging the Kansas City Chiefs, it is a team out on the West Coast that looks to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles as NFC champions. That team in question is none other than the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco, which came into the season with already the top defense, added Jason Hargrove from the Philadelphia Eagles to shore up the run defense and allow Joey Bosa, reigning defensive player of the year, even more opportunities to get at the quarterback. San Francisco's defense, along with Bosa and Hargrove, also boasts possibly the best linebacker duo in the league, with Mr. Greenlaw and Mr. Warner manning the middle. The biggest question for San Francisco is not at running back, it's not at tight end, it's not at wide receiver, it is at quarterback. San Francisco is looking to have a quarterback conundrum this upcoming season. Do they go with Trey Lance, who they traded all those draft picks for? Or do you stick with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who led your team on a very deep postseason run, and if not for injury, could have possibly led your team to the Super Bowl? And as always, if you're enjoying the content, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, I'll reply, and I'll catch you at